Friday, September 5, 2020. Good morning and welcome to the final edition of the program Good Morning Salon for this week. Where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Where they bring you this edition of the program Good Morning Salon. Musa Kamara na my name.
And Mina Khadija Bangora, good morning. Inside the program this Friday morning, as the Rugby Union Salon don't scatter the Rugby Board and Executive because they say they not say board not a part of the Salon Rugby Constitution. The board chair for the Rugby Union, Nasu Fofana, say they not get right for scatter the executive. The program manager for Campaign for Good Governance, CGG, Sir Kadima say, Sir Kadima don't call on the Minister of Gender for carry the gender equality and women empowerment policy in a parliament, make it on law. And today inside the program, we go look inside plan them where the Tertiary Education Commission gets for tap tertiary institution them, where they operate in the country illegal one.
Well, this plus other stories them did at the program as they go lay to rest this weekend. Radio Democracy go look inside the life of the first United Methodist Church Bishop Yambasu in life where he lived before he died this BNTM. And work about day inside the program for you. Members say they listen we live on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl, courtesy of Osiwa and powered by AfriCell. And selfie they listen we from Radio Shalom 89.5 Nakwena Dugu, Radio Malen 88.5 and Radio 1G 11.1 Apuja District, Radio Kolente 90.5 na Cambia, Radio Moa 105.5 na Kailaon, and Voice of Karine 98.0 na Karine Districts. The program na Good Morning Saloon. You can be part of fun by way you can send text message to the number 0779819881. 0779819881 are the number for sending text message and be part of the program Good Morning Saloon.
We will continue with the program and we will look at the first issue inside the program this morning. Because of the role we then get for the country economy, this make the Ministry of Trade and Industry don't pull a strategic planning forum NADO with different ministry departments and agency them for ensure say them put structure and other things in place. Also, the Minister of Trade and Industry, Dr. Edward Hinga Sandi say the ministry they work stronger one for make Salon be middle income country by 2028. Well, we reporter Usman Kamara gets more and he go now report.
The Ministry of Trade and Industry gets big role for play for develop the country economy and self-responsible for control price of thing for it and other thing them na Salon. We then kind mandate here make the Ministry of Trade and Industry the all one-day workshop with ministry departments and agency them where they work directly with them for puts together plan them where go get rank to the ministry for continue them work. Meriwether Thompson, now the chief director at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, a start for explain about the strategic planning where the ministry all with different agency them.
The whole structure not being directly speak to private sector issues. So we, apart from that, we find that it's team and like standards and quality now been team we not get at the Ministry of Trade. And now we they talk about the African Continental Free Trade Area, whereby they talk about diversification. And the other country they know if we sit down, we're not able to meet this required standard. And we're not able, even with production not meet the required standard. That means the other country then could take we are dumping ground. Therefore we configure. We structures them and see how we go align and able for push forward things like agro business and industry development. We don't get like a 6 solid industries that would establish. So you find out say then they go to enhance with foreign exchange. Not all time we go in deficit.
Dr. Edward Inga Sandi, now the Minister of Trade and Industry, where me the pull the strategic plan in Ado, is say in vision now for Salon by 2028 be middle income country.
To effectively discharge these responsibilities, we have crafted a shared vision which is intended to develop effective and capable institutions that are responsive to the needs of the people of Sierra Leone and accountable to them as well. Hence, we envision that by 2028, Sierra Leone would become a middle-income country with private sector-led inclusive growth. The above vision is driven by two critical factors. Firstly, it is informed by the fact that with government's overarching vision anchored on human capital development, the Sierra Leonean society will become highly educated with high consumption propensity for luxury goods.
The strategic planning forum being gets the Minister of Finance Jacob Jusu Safa Himself been say, he go give all in support where the ministry wants so that the ministry will continue for help develop the country economy.
But let me end by saying to assure you, Mr. Minister, that the Ministry of Finance, this strategic planning workshop and national reform is very timely. If it's completed, it forms the basis for your budget for 2021. And we prepared, if the quicker you finish it, you cost it, it will get itself in the 2021 budget. If that process is not completed and it's not part of the 2021 budget, it may slow down your reform. We'll be looking forward, and now is the best time. So please, let's treat it serious. Let's make sure it's the process that starts and ends within 3 weeks, and the costing put together, your manpower need done, so that by 2021, we get a new caliber, new structure in the Ministry of Trade. So it's important to understand that. The other area we are working with the Ministry of Trade is the area of the industrial policy and special economic zones. There are quite a lot of areas that we're ready to collaborate.
Different ministry, department and agency them. Then self me say them go give all them support to the Ministry of Trade for see this strategic planning come up fine and better the country. For the society, for Radio Democracy, Mina Usman Kamara, the report.
The program na Good Morning Saloon will come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We continue for look at more issues inside the program. We go on a campaign for good governance. We say they don't end one stakeholder meeting with women organization them for make them go talk about the gender equality and women empowerment policy. We then want for make it on to law. We make the program manager for campaign for good governance CGG, Sir Kendema say one recommendation we did inside the gender equality and women empowerment policy. We the inside now within the try for make the minister of gender go table the policy in a parliament. Now for make it go turn law. It talk more to my colleague inside this interview, Theodore Arena.
Well, we hold this meeting here today for see how best at least we can able get the Ministry of Gender and Children Affairs for come and tell the women and organization that we work on women's empowerment, what's the current status of the gender equality and women's empowerment policy, and what's the current content we in the day. And as well for see how best at least we can able get organization that we work on women's empowerment, how we can able do issues around coordination, how we can able do advocacy, so that at least we able urge the policymakers them, especially the cabinet ministers them, how they able adopt this policy. You know, this gender equality and women's empowerment policy discussion don't begin long since, and it don't far overdue. For many, many years, we don't advocate for say how best at least we will get a document with such of go push women them socio-economic and political interest. But government they come government in government out, when they come they make them commitment and promises, but when they see the document.
So what are some of the things that were there inside this document?
Well, this policy they talk about education, how to provide equality, that's to both men, women, boys, and girls as such. When you talk about health issues, when you talk about political representation, now some of the things and this where the policy they try to speak to.
After we don't put all this together and share the idea with different stakeholders, then which one are they expect?
Well, now that we don't share the ideas them and we don't get all we thoughts them together, you see the recommendations them we come out. One key recommendation get for do for expand the consortium that is for get other big members them, and also for such of meet with the Minister of Gender and Mr. in office. So now some of the action point and these will get for work on as next step. We arrange we will get a working group and get more players, because the more the merrier, the more people that will get on board, and the more we will achieve with common goals. They will go for meet the minister in office and then see how we will get a one-on-one discussion with the minister, what's the challenge, what's the hold on this minister, which can support in good need from we will for push as civil society organizations. Because when no one come back, take election come, we'll able get this document here, we'll able get this document here back. And the inequality when it comes to women, the inequality between men and women is very, very high. And so then they will want for narrow. And for narrow than they not only when we get a document, we if you go speak to that, and we other institutions will be obliged for adhere to the provisions them within in that document.
Okay, why should be the give you presentation during the program? You make mention say if the policy pass as law, some parts of go jam with the 1991 constitution. What you now go do in terms of that in the review of the 1991?
so this policy also go get full power?
You know, say first, before you dey make the law, you dey get the policy. So the policy na dey informed the law, na dey give like the direction. So what we dey push for right now is the policy. So when cabinets don't adopt this policy, the next steps now what they take now is that for see how that's then able to develop a bill. And when they develop the bill, that bill now then get for taken to parliament. So the parliamentarians then get for discuss around that day. And when they discuss them, they approve and becomes a law. And when it becomes a law now, you go see now we no need for beg people them again. All we do is that the next advocacy we go do for me they adhere voting the Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act say then for do it then for do. So if the act say you political party, for instance, if you they send representatives for context election, if you say you forget a minimum of 30%, the list where you submit a minimum of 30% women for dinner that list. If you know the day, you they breach what in the law say. So if they say, for instance, education opportunity they be provided. If the law say when you provide educational opportunity, a minimum of 30% for be given to women, and we see a service of that nature being provided, we not see a minimum of 30% being allocated to women, then we will be obliged for ask question. But we only do that when we get the policy adopted, we get the bill, and it's been enacted. So now make in the declaration, you see, we measure, say, then get for review the constitution, the national constitution, because no one foresee a conflict between the constitution and the GUE Act as such. You know, they get for speak, because every tool they try for doing now women's empowerment, and for achieve that, they then to document them, not for conflict with each other.
Okay, in terms of the coordinating aspect, CGG will not go able for coordinate, so that they will not work with.
So with the work now, we get support from Trocchia, we work with other partners in the communities. And now you don't see the interest of other international organizations, them way back they come on board.
Program Manager for Campaign for Good Governance, CGG, Sir Kendema been talk to me collect here during Arena inside the interview day for second and stakeholder meeting with them all with different women group them for advocate for the gender bill for gender policy for pass into law. Good morning, Saloon. We come to you from the Society for Democracy 98.1 FM.
7:42 now the time from studio clock, and we look at more issues them inside the program this morning. Now they're gonna NatCom USAI for make mobile company them regulation them operates proper one in line with the international best practice. The National Telecommunications Commission NatCom don't begin for look back inside the 2006 NatCom Act. USAI the director of Corporate and Industrial Affairs, Ben Fode, say when they don't look back inside this NatCom Act, this go make the institution then work hard pass out a day now, and serve the act in name go change from Telecommunications Act to Electronic Communications Act of 2020. Well, Ben Fode explain more, but this
it is Facebook, whether it is WhatsApp, whether it's Netflix, whether it's Hulu, whether it's Prime, all of those ones, they're not been doing insider acts before in the 2006 Act. So now we look, government don't look and say, we get for come up now with a new act, we are the National Electronic Communications Act. So then we are looking at repealing or even abrogating. That means make like forget about the 2006 Act and come now with Electronic Communications Act of 2020.
So they come out from a regulation of telecommunications of the 2006 Act to Electronic Act.
Telecommunications initially it was single phase. That means that only telecommunications know we speak to before that. But now we get the spectrum get for board. So like even like things like data protection not being there on that act, it was not very well grounded. That cyber security not being there, it was not very well grounded. That. But all of this acts now they go look how they go validate now. That is starting Friday and Saturday in Bo. All of these ones therefore speak to that because therefore ensure say we protect the consumer, and then we look at increase in penetration, and we look at maybe enhancing broadband capacity in the country, because now that's the country will use for develop socio-economic development in the country.
So now looking at the National Telecommunications Act of 2006, so now they can come out from now to Electronic Communications Act of 2020. You get so many things where you get for consider in implementing the new regulations there. In anyone, I don't take into consideration some of them here for make sure say now they put cyber security, data protection, and other one them. NatCom don't sit down well and consider for say ladies not just in black and white, but let it be reflective and effective for consumer and also the one day where they give the service?
Yeah, sure. Because we don't for anything we do, you get for engage, you get for consult, you get for collaborate, you get for cooperate, and all of those ones be known they go on we and the MNOs and all others and stakeholders, including even the internet service providers, including even the people that they in charge of the submarine backbone and where they roll out the fiber, then like Salcap and everybody waiting at the sector. Now that we don't see say what we could do now for come with everybody again, even when they go boso, all of us have to be there so that we'll speak to the issues for the development now the industry. Government gets what we call the midterm national development plan, and ICT play a key role yonder. So the Telecommunications Commission will now look at Electronic Communications Act, now for drive that process through Ministry of Information and Communications. As we speak, the ministry do several transformations now. So this is not just one of them. There is the digital strategy we'll get for look at. They will get for look at the digital policy. All of those ones get for come hand in glove for ensure say we reposition digital transformation as Salon.
So looking at a decision from a regulation act to an electronic act of NATCOM of 2020, why not think say this is the best decision?
Now the international best practice all over the world, when you get laws after some time, where you get emerging trends, where new thing then come. So then new thing then can so the law we ginde before not going before can capture them. So you need for bring them come on board. So in view of that, we don't look say well that is the
say they want to see increase in penetration on access to the internet. In this on a new act now on they try for do an engagement on when are the electronic act of 2020. Like how well on I don't consider this, so make sure say the one day we get the service also get certain thing that we could make giving out in service not be too challenging.
Yeah, well, we all of these ones now for make we improve on accessibility and even affordability, because whatever we do now for me we see how cost go come down from the own operational cost when are the OPEX, so that once the operational cost come down, then that cost will be cascaded down to the customer, to the consumer, so that instead of even the cost of the services where the mobile network operators then or where communication service providers then they produce, then the cost of those ones then come down.
Whose change people go see from the service provider them, access to internet, free flow of internet facility and all. Whose change this go really make, because this acts na inge for the guide of how na get for the regulate the service provider them.
Yeah, we get every reason for belief and no say, and that for certainty say and predictability say the service provision there will be improvement in the service where they provide. Even when quality of service go be improved upon, maybe those issue of drop calls, handover success rate, all of those KPIs where they get them way for improve upon. As me and you talk, then we know the coverage, network coverage, whether it's 2G, whether it's 3G, whether it's 4G, in order that level we been there 3 years ago or 4 years ago, there is always improvement, and that improvement will continue for move on. But as we talk, like inside this year, those areas and website and visiting for put tower, they're not able to complete everything because of say for example COVID day. But as it is, we don't engage them, and I think the work don't start now, and those areas we get access gap, we look at for densification. That means even like inside Freetown, if you go around the far mountain areas, not to outside you go get access, or where access will be very smooth. So then you look at those areas, and there will be improvement in those areas, so that the consumers then will be happy with the service that they provide.
So after this other consultation, we will not go do for review on an act and make it become an electronic act of 2020. Waiting at the next step of NATCOM for making this act be more visible, let people understand, waiting on change inside it. So all the body them will involve from MNOs, the service provider, them themselves could know say, well, there's a new act we didn't get for work along with. Waiting for be next.
Yeah, well, we will engage everybody in a matter of popularizing it. So once we will popularize and nationwide with themselves and with the ISP, with everybody we a stakeholder related to this, we get to popularize them so that everybody go know. That means consumer information, consumer education, awareness, sensitization of people across the board go be done. We show us then strong enough for carry that out. And even with the media, we will bring Unaka on board. And as we talk, Una self they on board with we, the civil society they on board with we. Now all get for go board. So from there, we just continue for carry this message so that people they understand exactly those things where they inside the Electronic Communications Act of 2020 and how it will benefit Salon and benefit this country.
All right, that's now the Director of Corporate and Industrial Affairs, na NATCOM, Ben Fode Ibide talk to Saptiu Kalon. inside the review where he said and they do now the Telecommunications Act of 2006, and after they don't review this act, he said the name go change to the Electronic Commission Act of 2020. The program na Good Morning Salon, they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Well, as una hear from one power headlines to read them, today na the program we go look inside plan them where the Tertiary Education Commission get for tap tertiary institution them where they operate in the country illegal one. Well, the Tertiary Education Commission, government be established by an act of parliament when at the Tertiary Education Commission Act of 2001. One part the main reason them we make government be form this commission. Now for make they serve as advising body where it can pan tertiary education issues them and safe led and day between government and stakeholder organization them where they work around issues that we get for do with tertiary education. Well, this being term, plenty issues them don't they come out around the organization how they operate illegal one na the country where camp and tertiary education business and self this on they affect students them where camp and public exam. Well, the commission be done they do so many things them among them and for sign MOU with the Salon police for make themselves go help them for begin arrest people where then go suspect say they operate illegal tertiary education institution at the country. Well, na the studio this morning, I want to welcome Nadia Parkinson, when the manager for academic programs, new institutional and legislation, na the commission. We go can tell we more, but then plan them we then get for tap the illegal institution here, we then fair not say they operate in the country. Good morning, Madam Parkinson.
Good morning.
All right. The commission done the work for some time now from where government be established by an act of parliament where una they use for operate. From that end to now, we campaign tertiary education. What's difference we una don't make?
Well, we don't make plenty difference. Now, we dey try for like cover the excess rate of cheating na exams malpractice. It's not easy for na war, but we really don't dey try. Now we don't the educational landscape you don't dey see say small increase. It don't dey different past how we been dey lecturer dey. So we don't dey make plenty difference from the educational sector. It's the higher educational sector.
So let we look at this you position academic UNA manager for academic programs, new institutions and legislations. Looking at this, do we look at the broad mandate of the higher UNA institution we you work for?
Okay. Well, this directorates we are the directorate for academic programs, new institutions and legislations. Now in they deal with all the application for university, then for colleges in general, university, college, then new program the way they want start, then would it like can try for make sure say all waiting and they do they in place and all the rest of it, all the accreditation process, registration process for new institutions, and this directorates get for do with most of the thing that we can get for do with legislation, so like for putting in order and all that thing and they this directorates they deal with them.
You talk about university, you talk about college, and you talk about technical institution. What are the difference between all them three categories that we don't mention from one standpoint to another register them?
Okay, well, the commission, we get three categories of tertiary institution. And so we categorize the tertiary institution in a salon. You get category A, when a university. Then one and they then get the mandate, after we go to accredit and register, then they get the mandate for offer undergraduate, diploma, certificate, HND, and postgraduate degree, master's, PhD, university, and then get the mandate for give them your certificate. For example, for Abe College, go give certificates for anything, for PhD, for masters. Once that them program, then they accredit to we. Also, just that you know university, you get the mandate for do any kind of program. The program themselves, one by one, we do program accreditation and a part of this directorate. Then we get category B. Category B, then they offer certificates, diploma, HND, where then they register with NCTV for do the exams. Then get mandates for offer undergraduate degree by affiliation. By affiliation, that you go get for go take other university, one full university now. Now you go get partnership with an and give you the affiliation status. Then you go offer that program, then they where you get affiliation to. So then get mandate for offer degree, undergraduate degree, but not by affiliation. Then you get category C. Category C now, then they offer certificate, diploma, HND, no more. We go down accrediting and then go to NCTVA, they register them, then they offer then NCTVA exam, but a certificate, diploma, and HND no more.
When you look at the education sector, now one way, don't they get some challenges them lately, especially when you talk about performance of the student them in public exams, where you talk about the area of cheating, we just mentioned, where you say, don't they try for COBAM, yet still, we don't they see the issues there, so they come up. How you go assess the tertiary education level in Nasalonia?
Well, first of all, if now for assess the tertiary education level with regards to cheating, I will tell you say the tertiary education sector, the TEC and the Ministry MTH in collaboration with the tertiary education institution, and don't they try the level best. But I want to understand say this cheating don't tell like some kind sick, like some kind menace in the country. Where they start, it flow into the tertiary education sector. It starts from primary school, and most of the cheating the world they hear itself now was where they don't go see to us, and then products and they can sign the tertiary education sector. So you have to understand say not to picking task for handle than they. But we commission together with ministry and all the stakeholders that all the tertiary institutions don't they try. We don't get workshop with them some time ago where we get for put a paper together on exams malpractice. Then some of the institutions themselves don't implement. I don't know if you hear about University of Sierra Leone, where they try for put CCTV all at them place. They try for put this exam malpractice issue here so to rest. Now team where it go ask for put all together because so tell they as you they develop the students themselves, the party they always involved in this cheating and exams malpractice. They try for develop their own skills.
Nothing will go at for COB, just like how you say, Madam Parkinson. But when you look at some of the reasons them we make them form as an institution now for serve as advising body to government, we can find issues them we get for deal with tertiary education. I don't already know one part of the reason them say it starts from the early years of the education, say then come into the tertiary level. What in exactly the institution done apart from for put CCTV cameras na university them, na exams hall and other thing them, as way for advice government maybe put together a policy we go help for reduce this particular act?
Well, like what I tell you, I still been get a workshop some time ago. In that workshop, then I've been for draft, and I've been together with all the stakeholders, all tertiary education institution as salon been did. I've been for draft a policy. That policy they now for finally present to government on exams malpractice. So once we don't put that policy in place, plenty things they will don't think about. And you know, say we'll put them together, government self will look and say, okay, we agree for this, we not agree for that. And plenty things and they plenty suggestion and then that policy they will feel say go better for help for curb this menace as soon as alone.
All right, continue for the week winner the program. Nadia Parkinson, we are the manager for academics program, new institutional and legislation na the Tertiary Education Commission. 8 o'clock na the time from studio clock. We they take this short commercial break. We they come back and continue with the program.
Salon Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salon Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you not get the account number. Buy Edsalight, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salon Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salon Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
The program is still listening to a Good Morning Salon. We come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We will bring you this edition of the program Good Morning Salon. Musa Kamarana Minim.
And Mina Khadija Bangura.
We still get with studio guest Nadia Parkinson, manager for academic programs, new institutions and legislations. They talk about the work of the institution. Earlier you've been to talk about una broad mandate or you directorate in broad mandate. One thing you make mention of now the area of programs, say any program we the institutions here we affiliate to una or una they supervise they do, una get for be aware of them. Whose role una they play in review of curriculum na different universities and departments them we go on?
Okay. First of all the tertiary institution no say when they want to start any program, then they come to we. Then like anything where they want to develop their curriculum, you don't reach a level, you want to add more, you are waiting, you get for to we, you carry the curriculum to we. We get experts them okay higher on their curriculum then they for vet the curriculum, they can go watch them and all the rest of it. Then we can also go watch your facility back because until you don't add something where you need some kind of facility for teach them. We can also get with experts and together with team na TC go watch them one and day. So for anything we even when they develop their curriculum, they get for send them to we get for vet them with we experts, we get institutional experts we can hire from term to term for depending on the different kind of program. If na engineering, if na procurement, anyone where you come with you program for that, we go look the experts, we get professor then at the country, we will go look, we hire them, now then they watch them curriculum, then if they see say